Hey guys, this is Rainiac and welcome to Let's Play the Addams Family for the Super Nintendo. This game was based on the 1991 film with the same name, and was also released on the Sega Genesis, Nintendo Entertainment System and the Game Boy respectively, but I'm just going to be playing through the Super Nintendo version because they're all pretty much identical. Here is our protagonist then, the patriarch of the Addams Family, Gomez Addams. He was played in the film by Raul Julia, but he actually looks like, he actually looks similar to John Astin, the actor who played Gomez in the 60s TV series The Addams Family. John Astin went on to play the Riddler, by the way, for those of you that don't know, in Batman, in the 60s and 70s TV series Batman, but he only lasted one story because, well, they thought Frank Gorshin was better, so they fired his ass. The gameplay is a bit similar to Mario. It's a bit of a Mario clone. You can kill enemies by jumping on their heads. We have 2 hearts, which means that we can take 2 hits before we lose a life. As you can see in the left-hand corner of the screen, we have dollars and lives. Dollars are set to 0 right now, and lives are at 5. And we have a score that goes up every time we collect items and kill enemies. And do other things, but I'll get to that later. And Gomez's jumping can be quite nifty and quite annoying as well. If you hold the jump button when you bounce on an enemy, you will do a super jump. This might seem quite useful, and it is, but it can also get into hot water, especially in areas with low-hanging spiked ceilings, because if you do that, you'll just go shooting straight into the spikes and take damage. But the bounce does allow you to combo enemies like that. Nifty, huh? And I'm going to completely ignore that very obvious-looking pit because, well, first of all, let's actually go into the Addams Family Mansion, or what they call it, the residence in this game. This is not a nightclub, okay? So here we are at the Hall of Stairs. This serves as the hub world for the game of sorts. Behind each of these doors, apart from the one at the bottom which leads to the exit, behind each of these doors is a level, or in a couple of cases 2 levels. And behind one of those doors is an Addams Family member who's been kidnapped. The plot of this game is loosely based on the movie. And I say loosely because if it were very looser, it'd fall off. Basically, Tully Alford, the main villain of sorts of the movie, has kidnapped all the Addams family, and they're being guarded by bosses. And Gomez has to go through his mansion and save them. But if we go in the middle room here, we come across the 2 members of the family that weren't kidnapped, Thing and Lurch. Take it away, Lurch. Why, thank you, Lurch. That was an absolutely brilliant representation of a cat being strangled by piano wire. You are so lucky you are just a background NPC, because otherwise I'd be jumping on your head from now till doomsday for that terrible performance. Lurch is the Addams Family manservant, and he serves no real purpose in this game other than to play the piano terribly. We also have the Thing, the Addams Family's pet disembodied hand. I think he was their pet. It was never really explained in any of the series the Addams were in, but I suppose he's closest to a pet. The Thing's role in this game is, well, he gives advice. He appears in certain message blocks, which you can then hit with your head, and he'll give advice. But now that terrible musical ensemble is over, we can actually start the game proper by going into this door on the left here. This leads to the old tree. Now, we could go inside the old tree, which is looking uncannily like the Great Deku Tree from Zelda, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, you want to climb up these branches because there's business to take care of. As you can see, Gomez right now has only 2 hearts, and that's no good. If we jump up these branches, another life bar has appeared belonging to this giant bird boss. I'm just going to call it the Big Bird, but it doesn't actually have an official name. All the other bosses in this game have official names, but this one, for whatever reason, doesn't. He is kind of similar to Redonkel the Crow from Super Mario Land 2 Tree Zone. I say that both because of his very similar pattern and because he's super easy. Look at this, roast bird. And yes, I know I got hit, but your health gets refilled every time you defeat a boss. So it doesn't matter. We got an extra heart added to our life bar and a password. This game has passwords and they can be very useful. In fact, they can actually be exploited to get you an infinite number of lives, but I won't be doing that because I want a challenge. So let's jump off the old tree and remarkably not break our legs as we hit the ground. There's a heart here which you could use to refill your life if you've been damaged by the big bird, except it's pointless because you refill your life by defeating the boss. So instead, let's head into the Great Deku, I mean the old tree, sorry. And you'll see why I was kind of saving this for later. And the reason I was saving this for later is that white golf ball. But first, It's time for a thing hint. And the thing hint is basically, this is just a hidden way through to get to the graveyard. The graveyard is an area that you can actually go to whenever. The beauty of this game is that it's very non-linear. Apart from the final area of the game, which you have to do last because it's the final area of the game, you can go through the levels in any order and in any challenge you want. But I've got a path set out, and to be honest, it works for me, so that's the route I'm going to be doing. If you've got a problem with that, then deal with it. I don't think you will have. And our first power-up is this golf ball. You shoot it like the fireballs in Mario. And it's a bit of a game breaker, if I'm being honest. You can shoot two of them at once, and maybe I shouldn't have picked them up so soon, because they're a bit game breaking. You'll see what I mean later on. We're actually going to head out of the Addams Family Mansion then to demonstrate just how game breaking the golf balls are. Because as you can see, you can throw them and suddenly none of these enemies are a threat. There are actually secrets to be had outside the mansion. The Addams Family is packed full of secrets. Some are well hidden, some are easy to find. And by the way, I have a fez now. Fezes are cool. And yes, you can stack the fez, as it were, and the golf balls. And it is really cool. As you can see, we have money on the roof. Quite why Gomez keeps his money on the roof, I have no idea. Gomez is a capitalist and does play the stock market, but he can't be that good of a capitalist if he's keeping his money on the roof, or he can't get to it. But I'm babbling, because what I actually want to do is go down these chimneys. Much like the pipes in Mario. Yes, it's another reference to Mario. As I said, it's kind of a Mario clone, this, but it's fun. Press down these chimneys and you'll be taken to a secret area. In this case, the West Chimney. We have a stash of 4 1-ups, which are going to come in very, very handy, because this game, if you hadn't figured it out by now, is very, very, very hard. Very hard indeed. You're going to need all the 1-ups you can get. If we go down to the East Chimney, we have another area which is different to the West Chimney, which is kind of neat. More of these green guys, who appear to be walking like an Egyptian for some reason. And money actually serves 2 purposes in this game. Well, 3 actually. The first is that if you get $25, as you just saw then, you will get a heart refill. 1 heart of your bar will be refilled, although I hadn't been hit. Well, I had been hit by the bird, but I had full health, so you couldn't see it. Come here, you stupid ghost. Let me jump on you. Or throw a golf ball at you. That works too. And the second purpose of money is you get $100, you will get an extra life. The third purpose of money is to add to your score, but I'll tackle that later. There's another secret up here, however. You can either use the fez or these enemies, and we're Super Gomez. Well, I say Super Gomez, actually we're just trailing gold glitter everywhere, and we're playing through enemies like 9 pins. Not really making us super, but it's invincibility, and I'll take it. And it allows me to go down this not obvious hidden hole, which is very, very obvious indeed. And another thing hint. And this hint simply means go left. Yeah. Not one of the most well hidden of the Addams Family's secrets, but we get another life out of it, so it's fine. The good news about the Super Gomez power-up is the invincibility. The bad news is that awful, irritating grinding noise every time it runs out. Fortunately, unfortunately in some respects, the Super Gomez power-up is few and far between. But when it does show up, it's very, very, very useful indeed. Get out of here, stupid flying thing. Now, as I said, the golf balls are similar to the Mario Fireballs, with one very subtle difference, which I'm going to demonstrate here. Thank you. You can collect items using them. So you can use them to kill enemies, and you can also use them to collect items, which I believe Mario can't do. And we just picked up the training shoes, or the tennis shoes, or they have several different names. I'm just going to call them the tennis shoes. Why not? I think that's its official title. And they allow you to run faster and jump higher. You'll also notice that some of the enemies we're killing are looking really weird. We've got rabbits with spiked collars, which I'm assuming are supposed to be some sort of demented pet of Wednesday's. They certainly fit her. Personality. That's the word I was looking for. And now we have things attacking us off screen, and it's actually a spitter plant. I think these spitter plants are meant to be similar to Cleopatra, which in the cartoon, because Addams Family was made into a cartoon, which I'm about to get to in a minute, Morticia had her pride and joy was a plant called Cleopatra, and I'm fairly sure it looks similar to that. But there's more than one of them, so I don't think that is Cleopatra that we've just killed. Otherwise, Morticia would be heartbroken. The Addams Family was actually created in 1930 by the New York cartoonist Charles Addams. Yeah, really modest there, Mr. Addams. You named the family after yourself. I suppose it makes sense, though, because they were the family created by Charles Addams, therefore they were the Addams Family. Get away, demon hellspawn bat. And the family originally had no names. It wasn't until the 1960s, when they were resurrected for a TV series, starring, as I said, John Astin, that they decided to give the families names. They were Morticia, the mother figure, and Gomez's wife. They were Wednesday, the girl, Pugsley, the fat boy, Uncle Fester, and Grandma, sometimes known as Grandmama. And by the way, another secret over here, more money. And I could go through that passageway and it would take me to another part of the game, but I'm not going to do that. As I said, or I may have said earlier, I can't remember if it's another take, this game is brilliantly non-linear. You can visit any path in any order, and that really has to do its appeal. And now we're in Deja Vu, which looks a lot like the Addams residence, but it's a different area. Baby, I swear it's Deja Vu, and baby, I swear Beyonce, Knowles, and Jay-Z are going to sue me for ripping them the hell off. This guy is annoying. He only appears at this... Yeah, I want to lose the training shoes and the golf balls. Thanks for that. He only appears in this one area of the game. He is a leafless tree, I guess, and he will chase you till the cows come home. And because he's spiked, if you land on him, you'll take damage. You could just run into him head first, which would remove him from the game and give you 100 points, but you'd also take a hit. And to be honest, I don't want to do that. So as you can see, Deja Vu is... infested with a lot more enemies than the Addams residence was, and we can actually go through that door and go through back into the hall of stairs, but I don't want to do that because there are more secrets to show off here. But this is all I'm really going to be doing in this video, guys. Now I've beaten the big bird boss, just show off the secrets and then I'll be done. So we have a creeper and a green thing and another fez. Don't worry, I'm not going to do the line a second time. And on this roof we have creepers. I don't know any of the official types for any of these enemies, but I'm just going to call them creepers because it sounds kind of cool. And more money on the roof. And a heart. But the real attraction of this roof is not that creeper. The real attraction of this roof are the chimneys. I know what you're thinking. If you go for the chimneys, you're just going to end up in the same area as before. Why are you showing us old stuff? Well, that's because it's not old stuff. It's brand new. The Deja Vu acts as a sort of an alternate version of the Addams residence, so that the chimneys have alternate versions themselves. It's kind of neat. And these guys are still walking like Egyptians. I have no idea why. If anyone can tell me why, if anyone has the slightest idea why, please tell me. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to call them green walk like an Egyptian guys. It's not the greatest of names, but I've got nothing else. Go back into here, and once again, new area. Well, different area. With more green guys. And something a lot more palatable than walking green guys. More money and a life. As I said, collect all the lives you can because you're going to need them. Let's exit out the chimney. And that's all the show off in Deja... I knew it's a Deja Vu then. This is not a TV channel. Oh, well, that's a lot of enemies. As you can see, there is another pit here beneath the Hangman's Noose, so let's go into it, and we come out of the big pit, which I suppose is the alternate version of the underground. The enemies are a little different here. I can't believe I actually hit that bat. That's one of the major flaws of this game, actually, the hit detection. Sometimes it works in your favour, the poor hit detection. Other times, it's going to dick you over and get you killed. I like this game, I think it's good. I think some people have given it unfair criticism, but it's not a great game, and one of the major reasons why is this dodgy hit detection. And if you think this is dodgy hit detection, just wait till later in the game. Oh yes. You're going to love it if you're a sadist. One of the major ways to not take damage from these plants is to just stand in front of them, let them fire their balls. Sorry, let them fire their projectiles. I'm sure some people got the wrong idea from that. And then you can just kill them and go on your merry way. Some of these enemies don't show up again, some of them do. The plants, for example, are going to show up in the next video, and I didn't see that bat at all. And this is where the plants get kind of hairy to deal with, when there are multiple ones, and multiple sweet spots, and multiple place is to get shot in the face by whatever the hell projectile that is. And more bats. And again, I jumped straight into it. I'm going to die. I don't want to die because I would actually like to get to the end of this video without dying once. And if you die, it gets there's a really annoying bit of the game. That bat is not flying into my face tonight, thank you very much. How am I going to do this? With the power of Samurai Karate. With the power of Samurai Karate. Fuck, I'm just going to tank it. Oh, and that was absolutely the wrong decision to take. Yes, if you die, you get this screen, which is annoying. You can skip it, but this is going to pop up every time you die, and get used to seeing this, folks, because I'm likely going to die a lot. As I said, it's hard. There is one good thing about dying, though, in this game. You do get a slight moment of invincibility. And look at that, I died right at the end. What a freaking noob. Anyway, let's exit the big pit, and we're back at the Addams residence, which allows us to go back into the Hall of Stairs. You could have just gone through to the Hall of Stairs from Deja Vu, but I couldn't have shown you off the big pit. Or died. So we're back in the hub world, and that's going to do it for video 1 of the Addams Family. Join me next time when we see what evils this door has to offer. I've been Rainiac. See you later.